Oh, did you get a hot chocolate?
I got a cappuccino. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. These are really cute mugs.
Yeah.
I love.
And there's a bit of chocolate there as well.
I didn't get a hot chocolate for my chocolate.
You didn't get a hot chocolate for your chocolate?
I didn't get a chocolate for my hot chocolate, no.
That would be like chocolate inception.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right. Well, it looks like it's taken, so we can make a start. What I typically do is I start off with just a general chit chat, just to ease into the interview, so it doesn't feel like an interview.
Okay.
So, tell us about your ride-in.
Are we good?
We're gonna do it. Yeah.
Oh, did I ride in? Yes, I did.
It was we rode in.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done it so many times, you just didn't feel like a ride in, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was interesting. It was a little bit wet, actually, and I'm very cautious when it comes to wet roads.
Absolutely.
All the time. Like, I understand the whole trust your tires, trust your ability. However, I don't trust oil on roads.
That's it. And you're certainly braver than me, because I didn't ride in this morning. I brought the helmet because it's a great prop. But, when I was riding in, there were some deep puddles coming up here in Ellenbrook going through Wangara. And I thought, I don't trust myself through deep puddles. And the road was extra shiny. Yeah. And I'm all about safety first. So you got to trust your gut.
And that's it. And the thing with oil and water is it disperses. So the water will actually sink, but it will then make the oil rise. And it's something that you can't necessarily see on the road. And that's why it's so important to stay in the left and the right wheel track, especially in the wet, because you're going to stay out of that danger zone.
It's funny you should say that, because on the drive here, I saw a guy riding a scramble bike with the knobbly tyres, and I had to stop myself from saying something, because he was riding in the middle of the lane.
On a wet road.
On a wet road the whole way through, and he was riding over the arrows and the paint strips, and I thought that's a disaster waiting to happen. But look, he seemed like he was taking it slow, he wasn't doing it for the clout. So,
it was a few weeks ago now, maybe months, I don't know, the ADHD perception of time, but it started raining and we were all down in Fremantle, and I wasn't even going fast. It was 50 kilometers, but I actually hit the newly white painted arrow and skidded, and I shat myself. Like, it was just that moment of, holy shit, it doesn't matter how fast you're going or how capable you are. I just slightly hit it at an angle. It was wet and I skidded.
I had a brown pants moment when I was pulling into my street at home. So I'm not even 100 meters from home. There's a patch of dirt and gravel, because I live on a hill. Okay. And so the patch of dirt was at the bottom of my road, and I turned left, and I always have a rule second gear up the hill when I'm heading into the house. But I must have over revved it, and I felt the back tire spin out, and then the car tilted to the left, and I had to readjust to recover. And I thought, all right, that happened. Close to home. Help would have been nearby, but close to home. You can't be too careful.
Like, that happened. I've had a lot of near misses. Actually, I've actually crashed quite a few bikes as well. In my younger years, I was a little bit crazy.
There you go. And we'll get to that. So I'm here with Chev.
Yes.
Chev.
Well, Chevy. My real name is Cheval. So, and not a lot of people can pronounce Cheval, because it's just different. So it's always been a variation of whatever fits.
I get the same. I'm a Stephen, but it's spelled with PH. So I get Stefan or Stepan. Yeah. So just call me Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Username handle on Instagram?
Chevy.
There you go.
Easy.
Well, perfectly.
Yeah.
And tell us how you got into motorcycle riding.
It all started when? No, to be honest, it started way back when. So my dad actually owned a Triumph Bonneville 650. Hence the love for the Triumphs. I now own two myself. But to be fair, back then, my first real love was his best friend's bike, which was a Norton 850 Commando.
Amazing bike.
Yep. Beautiful. So that stemmed. I was a daddy's girl, They were always out fixing the bikes, loving the bikes. And I was just like, you're my hero, like these motorbikes. And then my brother, who's 13 months younger, you wouldn't know it. He's 6'5", twice the size of me. But he first got into riding motorbikes, and I was on his coattails. Like, every time he went, I went. It started off with like dirt bikes, and I won't say little dirt bikes because it didn't start off at Pee-wee 50s. Like, it was straight to 135s, 175s. We had a couple of little road bikes, little 110s. The 110, I crashed straight into a brick wall. I learned at a very young age, target fixation is a thing. So I grew up in New Zealand, and my brother and I, we were like little mini criminals, like, to be honest, good criminals. But we would just ride. We were like 10 years old and we were like crazy hooning around the streets. There were paddocks everywhere, riverbanks. It was just a free-for-all. And I mean, given I'm in my 40s, so, you know, things were a little bit different back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's started the whole riding thing. My brother, for better word, is a petrol head and I loved it. I frothed on it. So, you know, we bonded at quite an early age. My parents were always working and back then it was really different. Like they weren't home a lot, to be honest. They were always working and we just got together and rode motorbikes and drove cars. Like I bought my first car at 13. I didn't have a license. Like it was a Lada. Yeah, all the things I do. I took it down paddock bashing, down to, just we're a little bit crazy. But that's how I first got into motorbikes.
It's funny, like it's the best way to learn. And yeah, I'm in my 40s as well, and we grew up in a different time. My first experience on a bike, which I think invoked the passion for me for it, was going on the back of my cousin's uncle. You know, where he's an uncle through marriage, and he started riding motorcycles when he was younger. He's done very well for him since in business. He's got a beautiful Harley Davidson bike.
That's young.
He was riding a KZ 250. I think it was a Kawasaki, and he lived in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And I was the only one brave enough for myself and my brothers to go on the back of it. No helmet.
Yeah.
You know, just zipping through the suburbs.
No helmet, no gear.
In St Albans in Melbourne. Yeah. And I thought, I was holding on for dear life like a baby koala. I thought, that's it. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
But it's only been since my kids are a bit older now. You know, we can spend a bit less time putting money into the mortgage. I've got a son graduating high school. I can start doing something for me. And that's why I finally had the opportunity to buy myself a motorcycle and learn how to ride.
Yeah.
So it's been a dream long realised.
And like loving it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I left New Zealand at a very young age. I actually left home at a very young age at 15 years old. And then I left New Zealand at 17 on my own, went to Brisbane, bought a house at 18. And all of that sort of dropped off. I didn't have, that surrounding me. So went through 20 years of growth, life, craziness, absolute madness. I was wild, successful but wild. And then it actually took for me going back to New Zealand last year in August. And my brother still has quads. And in New Zealand, it's very different to here. We're talking, here we'd call them mountains, but they're beautiful hills. They're like going up rocky terrain, waterfalls everywhere. But just reconnecting with him after 20 years, I was like, fuck yeah, this is it. I've got the bug again. I said, I'm going back and I'm going to buy a bike. He's like, really? I'm like, fuck yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And I actually came back and bought a little Honda VTR 250. And I was like, yep, this is my girl. Get out on the road. And next thing you know, 8 weeks later, I've got a Triumph. And then 5 months later, I've got a 675.
So you had the, let's call it privilege of learning how to ride on a bike.
I did. Yeah. I did. And like the competence before the confidence, if that makes sense. I'd made a lot of mistakes really, really early on. Like I've been trapped under four-wheelers, I've whiskey throttled P175s to the point where I'm like running behind it, screaming for dear life. I've crashed into brick walls. But, not that I recommend making mistakes, but when you do make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes. So I've learned very early on.
Failure is a teacher.
Yeah. You grow through what you go through.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we're wild. And now, I have a little bit of a different approach.
I was raised to be very cautious. I had a very protective Southern European mother.
Yeah.
God bless her. But, we were always wrapped in cotton wool. She didn't like us doing anything risky. So me learning how to ride, I did that clandestinely. I didn't tell anyone that I was doing it apart from my wife. My wife was very cool with it. My kids thought it was amazing that Dad's learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I learned on whatever the instructors had. So I rode things like from an MT-03, an R3, a CF Moto NK150, which by the way, it's a good lifty bike, but so uncomfortable.
Yep.
And if you know what I'm talking about, on a long ride, I had to tell the instructor, can we just pull over so I can stand up and let gravity heal?
Yeah.
If you get my drift.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then I eventually got my motorcycle. I thought, this is where I feel at home. The Benelli that I have.
Okay.
And that's
so you're one and done with the Benelli.
This will be the bike until I upgrade.
Okay, so you are thinking about
but I don't think I'll have the heart to get rid of the Benelli.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to have a daily commuter and one that I'll take to two wheels, one love or whatever.
Yeah, your weekender.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got a Triumph 660, the Trident 660.
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tell us about that bike.
I love the Trident. Like, it is nimble. Like, for a 195 kilo bike, it is really light. And look, I was going to go straight to a Street Triple Lambs, but the moment I got on it, and this was coming off my little VTR, I knew it was too much for me. Like, I knew that riding position, I wasn't ready for that yet, you know. I gained that confidence versus competence. I'm a confident rider, but I didn't have the competency to ride something like that. I'm also very tall. Like, I'm 5'11", which is not the tallest, but I have a very long leg, 86 inseam. So that, I know some people are like, oh, you're blessed. No, because it can be a little bit uncomfortable on certain bikes. So I did go for that because it's quite a neutral riding position. She's not a cruiser. She's not a sport bike. She kind of fits in everywhere. Like, I love it. Went into Triumph, sat on it and said, yes, like the moment, you know? Yep, this is the one.
The bike chooses you.
Yeah, she chose me. And the guys thought I was crazy. I was like wiggling the bike around back and forth. And they're like, you're right. I'm like, this is it. This is the bike I'm going to get. I was really lucky because I picked it up secondhand. She'd only had 4,000 Ks on her at 2 years old. Wow. The guy's garage was immaculate. I'm talking like it was all tiled. The bikes were on, I think, those Dynamotos. So there wasn't even, it just, 4,000 Ks in 2 years. I've done 6,000 Ks in 6 months or something like that. Yeah. But I do love it. It's not that I'm getting to the point where I'm bored, because you can't really get bored on a motorbike because you're constantly improving, riding on wet roads, learning lessons all the time. But hence the Triumph Daytona is kind of like my heart bike, like the bike that I've always wanted. And so I've got that in the garage now too.
Very good. Very good. And is the plan to take that on track or?
No, because she's a 2008. 128 horsepower, you know, and I'm used to my 50, and I can push my 50. You know, there's that old saying, learn how to ride a slow bike fast. By far, the Trident's not a slow bike. You know, she goes great, which is why I started on the VTR. Like, there's that building that competence before the confidence to move on. But no, she has no ABS, no traction control. And look, it's great in a sense that when I got on her, I was like, holy shit, I'm going 140 in second. Like, time to pull it back.
In a controlled environment?
I mean, that was a typo. I was on the track.
On the track, totally on the track.
Pick myself, I was on the track. But that was, you know, a little bit of a pivotal moment where I was like, wow, this is easy. So really have to sort of dial back, and that's where I'll go into more controlled environments and really come back to doing emergency braking, you know, my slow speed stuff, really understanding and getting to know the machine, what it's capable of, and what I need to do to get myself out of emergencies and things like that.
It's so important to get to know your machine.
100%.
Because I heard it before I started riding that the motorcycle is much like an extension of the rider. And the more I ride, the more I find that is true. I think that every rider should spend one night, one day, just getting to know their motorcycle.
100%.
Like take it to a safe place, you know, go fast, twist the throttle, so you become aware.
Slam the brakes on. Like, literally, slam them on, get to know, skid it. Oh shit, okay, this is what happens if I do that. Get to know your machine.
How did you get to know your machine?
The Trident? Doing that. Like, I do a lot of car park stuff, so I'll go to empty car parks. Big ones, I'll make sure sometimes I've even taken a broom, so there's no like gravel and things like that. You know, and I practice throttle control. I'll go fast, I'll slam on just the front brake. Shit, okay, I need a little bit of back brake when I do that. Then I'll do both. Okay, cool, much better, 70-30. You know, I will almost put myself in those situations, because then in a real life situation, I've been through it and I know how to control it. I'm a little bit weird like that, you know, I'll do things backwards. I won't wait for things to happen.
It's wax on, wax off stuff.
Yeah, I don't wait for things to happen. So otherwise there's that constant anticipation, which could lead to a constant anxiety, you know. I ride a lot. Well, I don't ride Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, but I always ride Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday if I can. I don't stick to straight roads. I do take myself on the twisties a lot. I'm not by far amazing, but I love going with people that are as well. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it when they're in front of me and I'm watching their angles, how they're taking, and then I'm like, right, okay.
And they're so zen and nonchalant doing it as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Whereas me, I'm hitting the brown note, when I'm taking the corners like that. So I still have a lot to learn. I prefer straight lines, but, I've done twisties a few times myself. I thought, I could do more of this.
Yeah. If I could recommend to anybody to get to know their machine, track day. I took my Trident on the track day, and I know I got a funny look. She is by far not a track bike, but the instructors actually came up to me and they were like, we're so proud of you, Chevy. Like, you don't have a sport bike here like everybody else. And I said, well, I'm here for me. I'm not here to race anybody today. I'm here to get to know my bike and what I can do and how I can get better on her and put that into real life situations. And they're like, fuck yeah, they even got me on the Ducatis. So, this is the difference. So this is how we want you to sit on your bike when you're doing this. You'll see people go over the tank like this. You can't do that. They were awesome. I recommend track days.
Track day,
100%. And not to give a fuck, excuse my language, about what anybody else is doing. Mate, the boys were flying past me and I was like, woo, clapping for them because I was like, yeah, look at them go. But I was there for me and I really wanted to learn what I could do and how I could be at one with my bike.
Absolutely.
And it's a whole day of coaching and you just get better and better and better, and it's amazing. And obviously you can trust the road, you trust the environment, the tar seal is beautiful, the track is looked after, and you don't have to worry about, possums and dogs and police.
That's it. You can it's a controlled environment and you can be as wild as you want.
As wild or as not wild, like there's a corner, it's the basin, and it got me every time. I don't know why I'm so shit at it. I could see it and I was looking out of it, but it's the fact that it goes down a hill and then scoops back up. And I'm going to go on another track day. I'm probably going to do another 3 more. Love it, because I learn about me as well, and what I'm able to control and push myself that little bit further. And it doesn't have to be like 100%, but every time I was like a little bit more 1% Chevy, braking a little bit too early. Let's push that out a little bit. Yeah.
You touched on a very important point, because I'm quite philosophical about my motorcycle riding as well. I've learned a lot about myself when riding a motorcycle.
Yes.
It's my happy place, it's my zen place of zen, the feng shui, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I feel most at peace when I'm on my motor. And I consider myself to be quite a spiritual individual as well. But it's in the midst of all that chaos.
Yes.
Those micro calculations you have to do. That's when I feel the most grounded and centered.
Me too. Yeah. And that's been on the spectrum, you know that.
So what do you think it is about motorcycles, though, that allows a person to find that happy place or that zen?
Oh my God, because that's such a big question. Do you know what I mean? It could be for some people like just being on their own, amidst all the chaos that they're dealing with life. It could be children, a stressful job, I massage people all day. I love my job. I have a child, I'm constantly working non-stop. 3 Instagram pages. For me, it's that moment to be alone, and I'm with this machine that I'm in control of, but essentially is in control of me as well. It's that connection. And that chaos you mentioned, when we went for the ride the other week and we had to lane split.
Yeah.
That was amazing. There was so much happening, but it gave you the chance, or myself, to really narrow in, and it was those micro calculations, like that mirror is there, and it was kilometers of controlled lane splitting at 30 kilometers.
Of course.
Yes, but it made it so fun, right? We all pulled up at the end and it was just that moment where you're just with yourself. You can only trust yourself. However, you have to constantly be defensive and thinking.
Absolutely.
And calculating. I'm looking for tires, seeing if somebody's going to turn in. You're always thinking 2 to 3 steps ahead.
Absolutely.
Always.
I remember Sam, shout out to Perth Yami, by the way, at the end of that ride when we got to the Covert Hotel, funny story with that one, but that's for a different podcast. He mentioned, Steve, lane splitting like that's every day for you, because I commute to work on the bike, and that's me up the Mitchell Freeway and down the Mitchell Freeway and the Kwinana. So for me, it was, I've been there, done that. But then it dawned on me, hang on, I'm with a couple of other riders who aren't really used to lane splitting.
Yeah.
But it's not because I was in a slow cruiser. it's because, you know, you guys were taking the lead, and I thought, I want to watch these guys and see how they handle it. But you wouldn't have known.
It was super fun.
Yeah, you wouldn't have known that you hadn't really done much of it before.
Yeah, like I've done it in the sense where we're coming up to a traffic lights and, you know, the cars are parked. So I've had to sort of dawdle all the way and get to the front. But this was like kilometers and kilometers of freeway, and it was the first time I'd ever done anything like that, and I fucking loved it. I loved the challenge of it. I loved the forward thinking of it, and like you just become at one as zen, like everything just closes in. For me, because I am on the spectrum and I do have ADHD, I actually find this is my difficult thing. If, let's say I'm on a highway and there's no cars, that is where sometimes I've had to pull over. There is no distractions or extra stimulation to the point where I get so overstimulated that there's nothing. The lines start blurring for me. Yeah, so I've had to pull over a couple of times, and at nighttime as well, where I'm like, holy shit, Chev, I don't know what white line's happening there, because my mind is so bored, it's so overstimulated. Yeah. Very weird, I know. But I need the cars, I need that something so I can be working things out, and it just brings me that peace. I stim a lot when I ride. I actually will have like a cough lozenge or something like that in my mouth so I can constantly sort of be stimming, but that's, I don't know, that's an ADHD sort of podcast, but I have to do that, and I know that, and it's fine. It sort of just brings me into the present. Yeah. We've gone off tangent. I've even forgotten the question.
It's fine. This is all motorcycles and life. This is exactly what the podcast is about.
But that lane splitting was so much fun. So much fun. It was like a computer game.
Yeah, it was like the trench run in Star Wars on the Death Star.
It was so cool.
Speaking of lane splitting, because I've got my own experience with lane splitting, and it's probably one of the riskier things a motorcyclist can do on the road, I think, because of the unpredictability of drivers. You want to make sure that you're heard, that you're seen, you know, be as visible as possible. I've had a couple of drivers behaving poorly when it comes to lane splitting, like being deliberately cut off. Has that been your experience?
Yes. Yeah. So I did have a little bit of PTSD, and it actually happened on the Tonkin. I was heading out to see my friend, and I was coming up the middle, and I saw this van, and he slowly I saw his tires turn first. Yeah. Like, it was pretty much gridlocked. Like, where is he going to go? There was only a meter or so. And I was like, oh, okay. So I sort of pulled back a little bit, and then I was like, I've got to get to the front. I feel really unsafe here. So I moved up a little bit more, and he literally moved over, and I was like, okay, this is really interesting. I actually feel really unsafe around this van. And it got to the point where I was next to him. He tried to move his van so far into me, wound down his window, and literally was ripping the bird, yelling at me. He's at a standstill. And that really shook me, because I thought, what am I doing wrong? What have I done wrong? I'm only trying to get to a safe place, which is not here in between all these cars. So that really did shake me up when it came to
I totally sympathise with
really
that.
Angry.
I've had similar done to me. What drivers have to realise is that we're not doing it to race ahead.
No.
We're not doing it to try get ahead. We don't have this racer mentality. It's not because we want to be there first, but because it's for our safety.
Yeah.
We all know someone that's been rear-ended in standstill traffic.
Exactly.
On two wheels.
Yeah.
And so what drivers have to realise is that we're doing it for our own protection.
100%.
Right? We're not doing it to try beat you, so please check your ego at the door. It's nothing to do with you, it's more to do with our safety.
100%.
So please let us do it.
Yeah, and the amount of motorcycle riders that get rear-ended, because, you know, people are on their phone, they're easily distracted in the car. Being in the car is such an easy thing to do. It comes so naturally to 100% of people, right? And it could be the same route that you're taking, so you're not looking. Motorbikes are freaking invisible, you know? There's this little black splodge that you just might miss, and that's where they get squashed and rear-ended. Just let us get to the front. It's safe up there for us. It's safe up there for us.
It's for our own protection.
It's safe.
It's for your safety ultimately as well. You spoke about watching tyres move.
Yes.
When you're on a bike, I feel like you develop a really good spidey sense.
Yeah, you do.
You learn to anticipate.
You do.
Driver behaviour a bit better.
Yeah.
Do you find that makes you a better driver?
Yes. Oh, 100%. But because I'd grown up with motorbikes, I am a head checker, blind spot checker anyway. My dad was also like a truck driver and things like that. So I've grown up around wheels, if that makes sense. But I suppose more now that I'm older and I am on the road more, I head check. I mirror check, head check. In my car, for motorbikes. Sometimes I'll double head check because I have to travel from Swanview down to Fremantle almost daily. Always head checking for motorbikes, always.
And when I think you may be the same, when I do spot a motorcycle, I might give them a bit more room.
Oh yeah, give them some room. Yeah. Let them go by, let them do their thing. You know, if it's raining, I actually had a really nice experience. I rode home in the rain, and this is going to sound so strange, but I felt it in my heart. These motorbikes, I was scared shitless, okay? It was the first pour down of winter. I rode home from Fremantle. It was 9 o'clock at night. It was freezing. I couldn't see a thing. But these cars were looking after me. And to this day, I know they were. I know there was one there behind me, one in front of me and one next to me. Maybe they could see that I was shaking and I was so scared, but they looked after me. And
that was your royal escort back home.
Yeah, it felt like it. Like, honest, hand on heart, I know I was looked after, but I'll always give motorbikes that room to go through. Let them get to the front. It's just the safest place for them to be.
I always make sure that I show my appreciation. It might be just a hand up to say thanks for giving me a few space.
Yeah.
The ones that don't make that space, I will give them a very knowing, head turn.
Me too. I'm like, come on, man.
Very judgy, but I feel like you got to do it just to let them know.
Like, bro, I just gave you this space. Yeah. Like, come on. Little bit of a nod. Yeah. It goes a long way.
One thing I want to touch on, because we're older, more mature people.
Mature, not old.
Mature, very good.
Mature.
Young at heart, of course. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that maturity gives us an extra layer of caution when riding a motorcycle? Usually, maybe not.
Yes and no?
Yes and no, yeah. I mean, so compared to a younger rider who's first starting out, yeah.
So yes, because I have a child to come home to. Yes. So I have external responsibilities, always in my mind. Like, so there are times where we'll be having a little bit of fun, and I'm like, okay, spidey senses, I'll pull back. I've got an 11-year-old waiting for me at home. There are other times where I'm just like,
things can get a bit more spirited, yeah.
This is fun.
Like on my 500, she's got a bit of pep, and I like to use that. I mean, what's the point of having it if you don't use it?
Right. Controlled.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Legally, safely, control conditions.
So yes, even if I am having said fun, I'm still extremely defensive in my riding.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not saying other people do this, but if other cars are involved and I'm having a bit of fun, I'll still be thinking, and I'm an empath as well, so I'll actually think about that person in the car and their reaction. Am I going to give them a fright and stuff like that? Because if I scare them, they slam on their brakes or they quickly turn into me. So and it's probably why I'm quite tired after a ride mentally, because I am thinking about every single car when I'm having said fun, as well as myself. I know my abilities, but they don't know my abilities.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm glad that you touched on kids, because I'm a parent myself. I've got 3 kids at home, and you touched on how that affects your behaviour on the road. Yes. Do you think about the influence that you riding a motorcycle will have on your kid?
Yeah. He loves it.
Yeah, that's good.
He loves it. I take him to school on it sometimes. He especially wants me to pick him up, because that's when everyone comes out in the flock. Yeah. And he just thinks it's the coolest thing since sliced bread. But I mean, I still go to raves and festivals, like flip my age around. I still go to at least 3, maybe 5 raves a year. One of my favourite things in the world to do is dance to DJs.
Nice.
Love it. Yep. EDM is my jam. William wants to come. I actually took him to his first rave 2 years ago.
Oh, cool.
We went to Ministry of Sound in Kings Park.
Love Ministry of Sound.
It's so awesome. And the orchestra, the fact that they do it with an orchestra, oh my gosh, some of it was better than the DJ. So I took him to a rave. He calls them discos. Talk to me about it as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. My older 2 are quite cautious individuals. So I know that there's no chance in hell they're going to get on a motorcycle. Or I could be wrong. Be wrong. My youngest, however, started to show an interest.
Okay.
But even with the older 2, they know that dad's on a motorcycle. As they get older, that's going to make them aware of other riders around them.
100%. Yeah, when they're driving and in their car, I will say, because I'm a bit of a gear girl. I love gear. I'll always wear armoured leggings. I'll have my leather jacket, my armoured hoodies. It's my choice. I prefer to do that. I feel safer, and I like to set an example for William. But now William's been a bit judgy. We'll be driving along and there'll be someone in shorts or just a t-shirt. It's like, oh, no gear, mum, they're not wearing gear. And I'm like, it's their choice. He's like, but it's dangerous. They need to wear gear, because he's overheard conversations. He's like, they might be a good rider, but a car might not know that, and a car might hit them.
That's very sensible. And of course, you know, we're not judging riders who choose to wear less gear.
You do you, boo.
But if I'm drawing on my own personal experience, I've had a stack in the driveway when I've been walking, and I've had skin shredded off my body just walking.
Skin grafts hurt.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're all familiar with the term human crayon.
Yeah.
And I don't want to become one.
No, neither. Like I value my limbs and I value my skin, and you know, I've been burnt off exhaust pipes. Like I said, I've crashed a lot of motorbikes when I was younger, and it hurts. I mean, I bounced back and I've still got scars to prove it, but they're young scars, so my skin has healed, and I just don't have time for that now. And you know, it's not judging my ability to ride either. You just don't know what's going to happen. You could be taken a roundabout, a car doesn't see you, you know. It's not always the rider's, most of the time it's not the rider's fault. But you know, that's where gear is going to protect you. Like,
I mean, they wear hard hats and protective gear in the construction site.
I worked in mining for 5 years. We wore PPE for a reason. It's hot, it's heavy. Gear takes a while to get used to. That's one thing I think as a female rider, that's something to understand. It's not the most comfortable, but there are beautiful brands out there. It's just finding what fits you.
Absolutely.
And it's a bit heavier than normal clothes, but it's there to protect you, so it's there for a reason.
Is there a particular brand of ladies' gear that you find really good?
Yes.
Okay. Give them a quick shout out.
Okay, so where I get 95% of my gear is from Peak Moto, because they do stock, and they stock all women's gear. Neiman leggings, which I'm wearing now, are absolutely one of my favorites. They fit like a glove. The armor is just divine. They're so comfortable. They're high waist. I'm about to buy a second pair because girl needs choices. Pando Moto leggings are divine as well. These are both unisex. So Pando Moto leggings have a AAA or a AA rating. So comfortable. You can wear them on their own, or you can wear them as a base layer. So men like to wear them as well. They're like a skin, so you can just wear them under normal cargos.
Excellent.
Pando Moto is amazing, and I own the bodysuit. I've had that now since I started riding. I'll take it to the grave. It's beautiful, and you feel very feminine as well. Like, you know, we like to joke around that we're like dressed like boys, and we do. I have another rider season hoodie, which is awesome in the winter, windproof, waterproof. I'm bulky though, you know, and it's like my big dog kind of hoodie. Amazing, but it's nice to feel feminine as well. You know, feel a little bit sexy when you're riding, and it's nice to have that freedom and just feel a bit girly. So yeah, those are my favorites.
That's an interesting, let's call it dichotomy, because I've interviewed a few females who speak about they want to look bulky and masculine on purpose because they're worried about, you know, judgment from drivers and other riders.
Fuck what people think.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, I mean, they want to embrace their femininity.
Yeah.
So there is that other side to the coin as well.
Yeah. You do you.
Exactly.
Like on the day, you know, some days I'll dress in my hoodie and I've got my cargos on and I'm just like, I'm in that mood. Other days I'm in my tight bodysuit, you know, and I've got my leggings on, and it looks like activewear, but it's completely AAA rated, and I'm like, feeling myself.
As a female rider, though, do you feel that there's an unfair prejudice towards female riders?
I'd like to say no, because that's me thinking the world is all like rainbows and unicorn farts. But I mean, you know, like I pulled up the other day and I was at Scarves and a guy got off his Harley and he made a couple of comments like, and it was towards sort of the females on the bikes and, you know, can we hang out with you, and said Japanese bikes and things like that. I was like, first of all, we all love bikes, mate. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, good point. Second of all, mine's British. But, you know, hey, well, we're all here, like there's so many different bikes. There's Ducatis here, there's Triumphs here, you've got a Harley, like, bro, come on now. But that's why I wanted to do like the Bikes and Babes page. I
was going to touch on that. Yeah, it's amazing, by the way.
It's so fucking cool. It is honestly what started off as I knew there was going to be a sunny weekend before winter in June, turned into 45 girls. Beautiful. We're talking like from Viragos, Fat Bobs, 125s, 660s, leader bikes, all ages, shapes and sizes. It was honestly one of the best days, you know, and I had a lot of girls reach out to me. It was their very first group ride because they'd always been quite anxious because a lot of it, you know, involves boys, and that's cool. Like I've been to the street mob and it's if you've got that confidence. But you know, it brought a lot of girls and women out that haven't yet experienced something like that, and they said it was like it's changed their life completely. And that's what I love. I just, you know, girls were hopping on other people's bikes and trying, but also the empowerment of it. You know, we had awesome photographers there taking photos. Like, I embrace it. Who cares what people think?
Absolutely.
We fucking love these things, you know? Take the photo, get the video. You only live once. Like, you're in this meat suit once. We have one chance in this meat suit.
I like.
It's a meat suit. We're just vibrations cruising around the meat suit. But the Bikes and Babes, it's such an open, and for better word, I like the word community. You know, it's not a closed off group. It's not, there's no sales, there's no nothing. I just really want to empower girls on bikes.
All are welcome, everyone's safe.
Yeah, it's like a safe space.
Now, segue perfectly into my next question. You've got another meet coming up.
We do.
Okay.
Yes.
Details about that. Yeah.
So that's on the 24th. We are meeting at 9. We've got a raffle as well.
Okay.
I know. So it just started off as like, because Kaizen actually, they were doing their pink drop hoodie to support women in breast cancer. It's a very close, what's the word I'm looking for? It just has a good meaning to me. So I reached out to them. I offered to pay. They were like, no, we'll give it to you.
So cool.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck, oh my God, let me just give you a contribution. They're like, just stop.
Wow.
We love what you're doing. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, okay. I own a business, Kakayo. It's a wellness space. So I put in $100. And then all of a sudden it just kept coming, and like sponsors and people wanting to, like, for better word, I won't even say donate, but support what we're doing. Like, and that's what it's about, support. Like, we support you, you support us. And, you know, Perth, we're so far away from everyone else. Like, yes, it's big, but it's such a small community. And we've got this chance to support so many businesses that speak with so many different voices, like your own with your Redbubble store and mental health, you know. And then we've got beautiful people that take beautiful photos and show their ways through drawing art. And I went totally off topic. 24th of August.
24th of August.
9 o'clock. But we will be doing a really fun raffle. There's no first, second, third or fifth prize. It's so old school. I'm getting a raffle book. We put our names in, and then you literally draw a prize out of a hat. So there's no ranking and prizes, because it's just amazing that these are getting donated. We've already got, I think, 47 I counted, and more 95 interested. Wow. Yeah, so we've got photographers coming along. We've got Jan, that black Kawi. We've got Scoop coming along, maybe Vid Image. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a chance for us to all meet, have some time at Northside. So James is awesome. He opens the hub for us on a Sunday morning. Cool. Yeah, man. So fucking cool, because we get hot chocolates, and it's a nice chance for the girls to meet other people while we're there before we even ride. You know, it's a nice event, a safe event. So James is wicked. And then, I've got 3 maps planned, and I really hope they go well. Planning rides is hard.
That's right. Well, the weather should be much better by then.
I have been watching the weather every single day for the last month.
I live and die by the weather now.
Okay. I do not trust it. I've sent you that voice note this morning. Yep. I'm literally going to break up with the Perth weatherman. I have 4 apps, and I swear he gaslights me. But it's getting sunnier and sunnier towards that day. So I think we should be okay. We're looking for around 19 degrees, and it's sunny either side. Yeah, I'm watching every day.
Fingers crossed, everything crossed. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, my final question to you is about starting out as a rider in general. So let's pretend that we have someone that you know that's interested in learning how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, okay.
What advice would you give to them?
I think everyone has heard this time and time and time again, but ride your own ride. 100%. Know your capabilities, know where the confidence is, and really discern, like, make sure they connect, you know. I love people feeling confident, it's awesome, but really understand your skill set and then apply that moving forward. I am really big on competence versus confidence, but starting out, get a bike. You know, you don't start out on something too big. You might only have it for 6 months. Who gives a shit? Resell it. I had my VTR for 7 weeks, and I was like, all right, I'm redlining it in a very safe environment. I'm ready. For me, it was just getting back on the road, you know, because I wasn't new to riding. Get something that you're going to grow with. It's better to learn how to ride a slow bike fast, understand the machine, and ride your own ride. Never give in to like peer pressure and things like that, because that's where accidents happen. Absolutely. You ride outside your means and bad shit happens. Bad shit happens. Do you, like literally do you. Gear, I am one for gear. Get some good boots, invest in a helmet. It's gonna literally save your brain. Literally save your brain, save your life. Get some good gloves, good jacket.
And don't be worried about going all out in a helmet.
Just get a helmet.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm not one for buying a second-hand helmet, only because you just don't know. You don't know if they've dropped it. You don't know if the membrane has been tapered with. You'll never know. So personally, unless you're like just out on the dirt having a little bit of fun, get a new helmet. You know that it's safe. And yeah, get something that you feel safe on and that you're going to grow with. Like personally, I don't recommend starting on a leader bike or anything like that. I mean, you can only go so fast on these roads anyway, you know? Save that for track days and do a freaking track day, man. It's fucking cool. It's so cool. It's such a safe environment. They have overtaking rules. I did it before I even got my license. Best thing ever.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, Chav, it's been a pleasure having you.
Likewise.
On the show.
Thanks.
Under the helmet, and I look forward to seeing you out on the road.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's shake hands.
Awesome. All done.